Okay, now that I got a little time to myself after this whirlwind of a Texas 2K, so let's get you up to snuff as to what's happened so far. Got here Tuesday, did a test and tune, and the car shook the tire violently out of the hole. So I just aborted the run. My exhaust fell out, like one of the tips that's tacked in fell out. Came back, changed the plugs, checked the car over. I'm sorry, came back, looked the car over. Everything looked, you know, pretty straightforward. Sounds like a Pro Charger. So we ended up coming back, making another hit, and it went 9.1, 151, which is pretty slow for this car with the added boost and everything. So we heard misfires on the 1.2 on the launch and the 1.2 and 2.3 shift. So we ended up saying, okay, let's change plugs. And what else did we do? Changing plug, and then a wire that powers the lights was a little loose, so we tightened that up. Then we went out again and it just misfired real bad. So I just aborted the run. Come to find out, after doing a lot of testing, the mass airflow sensor crapped out. The mass airflow sensor ended up just being bad, and it only, you know, showed issues at wide open throttle. So now, after the coronavirus scare has scared everyone in the United States, I was supposed to have 5 qualifying runs. Everybody at Texas 2K was supposed to have 5 qualifying runs. 2 today, 3 tomorrow, then elimination Saturday and Sunday. Well, what did they do? Saturday, you're only going to get 2 qualifying runs. So this is going to be my first qualifying run. Then roll race happens for like 8 hours. Then we get a second qualifier tonight, and then right into eliminations Saturday, and they canceled Sunday, and they're not allowing spectators to show up to Texas 2K. They caught a lot of flack for that online. So it's crazy, but it's kind of like a silver lining because there's less distractions and I can concentrate on this car. So the car seems to be launching pretty good. The mass airflow sensor is replaced. Hopefully that fixed the issue. I'm going to go up and make my first qualifying pass in the street car class. See how it all goes down.
Alrighty, so alright, so here we are, next pair of cars coming up, and that ain't your dad's machine over there on the right hand side. That's not mom's either, but we're gonna go start our buddy, gonna line them up, set them on down. Wheels up, sets it down. 912, 152 to 971, 143.
Okay, let's get you guys caught up as to what's going on. The car has had an intermittent issue we thought was with the MAF. The car was basically launching, go pop, 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 and the only thing that would show up in the log is up and down wig out of the MAF. We chased the MAF wiring all the way back to the PCM. We only found one little wire that had a little metal exposed or wire exposed, but it had to do with CAN bus stuff, whatever. So we go out there and on launch it would go bop, 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 and it sounds like I'm letting off, but when you look at the log, the pedal's to the floor, the throttle is open. So I did that 2 times yesterday, which was my only chance to qualify, and the best the car did was a 9.0 at 149. It did 152 earlier, but it only went 149, cutting out, doing all this bullshit. So this morning, got up for eliminations because Sunday got canceled because of the coronavirus scare, and they canceled the Sunday deal. A lot of people got hosed, but it's understandable. Anyway, I end up opening the trunk, and I saw that the fuel pump solenoid was just rattling around. The one that uses the solenoid that triggers both fuel pumps was basically hanging on by a ground, just kind of pulling on the ground. So I redid that, bolted it down because it had a bolt, but one of the runs Tuesday, the car shook really hard, the tires shook really hard, so I wondered if it caused issues back there. Unfortunately, round 1 eliminations is the only time I can test. So we'll see if round 1 eliminations runs good and it runs better than a 9.0. Now, the problem is this. The class I'm in is like the C class sport, and the quickest car is like an 870 car. So I'm like, shit, if this car runs really good, it could go 870, 860, and I don't want them to think I'm sandbagging in the car. So I'm making this video before I run, so just in case it does run a really badass number, I'm not purposely trying to sandbag this car. Maybe I figured out the issue, maybe not, but we'll see how it goes. Got 2 classes to go before me, and see how it all goes down. Hopefully I get a nice clean pass out of it. A 128 60 foot, 870 at 158. That would be pretty awesome to have go down. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, I got a 8.7 second S197 Mario, one of our customers. I'm going up against him. So I got my work cut out for me. He's very good on the tree. The car is super consistent. Runs a VMP Gen 3, I believe an R version. So yeah, he's gonna be a handful, so we'll see how I can stack up. Okay, so I get back home, finally, and check the car over to see what the hell is going on. Super disappointed, 15 hours straight through. I just wanted to get home, get the car on the dyno, and see if it would act up on the dyno. So I put it up on the power by the hour dyno, and the issue does not come up. I go wide open throttle, it zings right up, no problem. Fuel pressure steady, MAF signal isn't wigging out. I'm like, wait a minute, why doesn't it do it on the dyno? Is there not enough load? So I started thinking, only when I launched the car, and the car squats too much in the back, so I'm gonna have to re-engineer the rear suspension a little bit. Only when the car launches really hard is there an issue. So let me go look at the back. And guess what I find when I go back there? A pinched fuel line. Yeah, the car apparently was squatting so much that the rear end was pinching the return line. So the only thing I could think of is fuel pressure would spike momentarily, wig everything out. Now, I don't know why the MAF signal is going crazy, but let's say, for instance, you had a momentary pressure spike in the system because the return line is pinched. let's say it goes from 70 something psi to 100 and something psi momentarily. Maybe we'll wig out the MAF signal because fuel pressure coming in dictates everything, injector pulse width, everything. And if it is momentary, I'm sure it can cause signal issues, but I don't know that. So I rerouted the lines, moved them out of the way. I'm not going to change anything so I can make sure that that was the issue. So what I'm going to do is April 3rd, I have a track rental. I'm going to go to a track rental where there are no people. It is just me in the car, and I'm not going to change anything except moving the fuel lines out of the way to make sure they're not being pinched by anything and see if that cures the issue. If that cures the issue and runs a number, I'll be happy with the car, and hopefully I would have fixed what was wrong with it. But Texas 2K was not friendly to me, but if it's something as simple as the fuel line being pinched, I'd say that's an easy fix and I can take care of it. So thanks for listening to my Texas 2K recap. I'll update you April 3rd or April 4th after the track rental, see if that fixes the issue. Thanks for listening, guys. Talk to you later.